WakeUpCall DT. You are inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, tuning in live on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. We are on youtube.com, facebook.com, and mixlr.com, all / Wake Up Call DT. We're also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, and we are on facebook.com / live now DT as well. So however you're tuning into the show, thank you so much for being a part of it, where sports meets that thing called life. So we definitely appreciate you, and thank you for being here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and cannot thank you enough for being, a part of this show every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. So it is time for us to do our draft grades. I'm always ecstatic to bring you the draft grades here. And so I know that a bunch of you are wondering, where am I going to be graded out, Dan? Where do you have me? And, people get excited about this. Like I said, I started doing them a couple of years ago and didn't realize how into it people really got and how excited people got about their draft grades. So it's really cool for me to do this, to grade people out, and we're just letting everybody know right now to go and check this out. But love giving the draft grades, love connecting everyone to it, and love seeing what people have to say, right? So some people, we may pleasantly surprise you. Some people might be thinking I should have been graded higher, Dan. And some people might think it's just right. Some people might think it's spot on. So, I ask yourself to really take a look at it, right? Because everybody wants to give themselves an A or an A++, but, we gotta be honest, right? We gotta be honest. We gotta be fair. And so we're going to grade them out. Like I said, we're going to start first in the Marywood League. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the Marywood Alumni League inside of the Wake Up Call Fantasy Football Challenge. So I'm going to rock over there first, and then we're going to have some fun with this hour of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for sure, inside of the Fantasy Football Power Hour. And my name inside of this league is DJ Iceman, because that was the name that I took when I was a DJ on air. We couldn't use our real name because there was a jail located close by, and so we couldn't use our official names. We had to use other names, and so I took the name of DJ Iceman, and I took that name because I'm a big fan of Iceman in the X-Men movies. Very happy they can be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel, I think you should let me be Iceman, because I've been Iceman since I was a junior in high school, I think it was. So I think it was a junior in high school. So yeah, give me that, give me my Iceman opportunity, as I've already, played him off of TV and the silver screen. So I think it's now time for me to play Iceman on the screen. But we're going to break down the rosters here, and we're going to go right into it. So I'm going to be grading out the rosters of the Marywood League first, and taking a look at this Marywood League. I'm going to go to the Pawtucket Polar Bears first to start things off, and that team is run by the Pawtucket Polar Bears. Here is a team that belongs to, I believe this is Brendan's team. So Brendan Murphy, who's been on the show a lot. Yeah, this is Brendan's team. So we're gonna do Brendan's team first, okay? And I put in these rosters as who they drafted. We have 18 rounds, so this is first through 18. So when I go 1 through 18, these aren't the first 18 picks of the draft. Brendan wasn't the first pick of the draft. These are just the picks that he chose. So Brendan chose Bengals quarterback. Well, actually, no, these aren't. I'm sorry. These aren't in order. This is just order of starters and bench right now. My apologies. So if I wanted to, I think I could do that. Yeah, I could do the draft recap. So why don't I do it that way? Then you can actually hear how he drafted here. So for the Pawtucket Polar Bears, Brendan drafted Jamar Chase in the first round. Then he went with Najee Harris. He went with Kyle Pitts. So I'm gonna, you know what? In order to grade these out and really to make it make sense to you, I'm gonna grade the picks as we go, and then you can obviously see how I throw them all into the funnel and a score comes out. So or a letter comes out, I should say. So Jamar Chase, first round pick, that's an A. That's an A plus. You know, it's you could probably have waited till the second round, but it depends on where you're drafting. Najee Harris in round 2 is a steal. Kyle Pitts has been drafted early, and he was drafted in round 3 in this, so that's probably where I said he should go, but he gets drafted a little earlier. Round 4, Javonte Williams, love that pick. I'm a big fan of Javonte. Covered him in college when he was at North Carolina, and North Carolina couldn't really pass the ball with Sam Howell against the Syracuse defense, so they relied on the running attack, and that running attack did very well with Javonte Williams scoring at least twice, if not 3 times, I think, against Syracuse. So definitely, and that was in the COVID year. That was the first game of the COVID year where Syracuse started on the road. So a big shout out to the awesome play of Javonte Williams. So I like that pick. That's another A. And these are all guys that might go in the first round, depending on how deep your league is. Breece Hall in the 5th round, little bit early. However, I did go early for him on that because I was drafting a bunch of wide receivers first. So I'm okay with that. I'll say that's a B plus. He's a rookie. J.K. Dobbins, I'm going to say that's a B. You know, I like Dobbins. I know he's the leading running back in Baltimore, but you know the leading rusher in Baltimore is actually their quarterback. And so it's, you know, that's J.K. Dobbins is one of the picks that I stayed away from just because of my concern of how often he's going to get the ball as opposed to Lamar Jackson running it himself. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow in the 7th round, that's a steal to me. I know we can go later on quarterbacks, and in my leagues, people typically do, and they definitely went later on quarterbacks this year than I think they ever have. But I'm a big fan of Joe Burrow, and his numbers are really good. Jerry Jeudy in the 8th round, that's an A, if not an A plus, getting him later on here. Michael Thomas, he's a question mark. I'm going to give him a B minus just because we don't really know. I mean, listen, they traded up to draft Chris Olave, who I thought would be a first-round wide receiver chosen out of Ohio State, and he was, and I'm concerned for sure about that situation. So am I, you know, I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, it's a good pickup. And at the same time, it's also, you know, putting us in a place where, you know, it puts the owner of that team in a little bit of a predicament, not fully knowing how often we're going to see Michael Thomas and when he's injured and when he's not. So, you know, Garrett Wilson, he is a Jets fan. You might think he's a Bengals fan, drafting a bunch of Bengals, but Brendan is a Jets fan. He waited till the 10th round to get Garrett Wilson. I like this pickup too. I think he's going to be the number 1 receiver with the Jets. So depending on their quarterback situation, I'm going to give this a C plus, that pick, because I think that he's a B, but I think the situation is a difficult one right now there in New York. And then the Kareem Hunt pick in round 11, I like this pickup. Kareem Hunt allegedly not happy where he is, but he is definitely a talent, so I like that. I'll give that an A. James Robinson in the 12th round, I'm going to give this a B because Travis Etienne and him have to figure out how they're going to use them. In my opinion, as a Jaguars fan, they need to use them both. And as just a football fan in general who knows the game, I don't see how you go forward not using them both because I think that gives you the best opportunity to win. So we'll see what they end up doing with it, but I think it's definitely an important move to put them out there and to give them a shot to work together. So I'm hopeful that we're going to see James Robinson out there. So I'll give that a B, and could be a B plus or an A. But I'll give it a B. Chris Olave, who I brought up, this is his insurance policy on Michael Thomas for Brendan Murphy's team. I think that this is a really good pickup because I think he's going to end up being the starter. He is a rookie, so I'll give him a B plus on this. Could be an A minus though there. And then Alan Lazard in the 14th round seems to be the only wide receiver that Aaron Rodgers, the diva, likes. So I'm going to give that an A minus. A Vikings quarterback as your backup, I think that's an A. He's above the equator line. Buccaneers defense, I give that an A. Jets quarterback as your backup, you only need him for a week, and obviously it's a homer pick. I'm going to give that a C minus because of the situation with the Jets, but you do get a team quarterback, not just Zach Wilson, so you get everybody in my league as an insurance policy. And then Matt Gay is your Rams kicker. I'll give that an A. So overall, with Brendan's team, I am going to assess Brendan's team now. So we're going to give Brendan, so these are our fantasy draft grades 2022. And we're starting with the Wake Up Call Marywood Alumni League for those of you that are just tuning in. And Brendan Murphy grade. I'm going to grade out Brendan Murphy's team with an A minus. I'm going to give Brendan an A minus on this. Okay. Next one we got up is the Chimera virus. And so, obviously a playoff of the coronavirus. We have the Chimera virus, a team that drafted Alvin Kamara. So we'll take a look at this roster here. This is Joe Forgione's roster. Joe and Brendan, ironically, two guys that have done MU courtside with me. And Joe, and it tells you what pick they had. So getting pick 8 and getting Jamar Chase was a steal. So it tells me what round, and it tells me the overall pick, like Chris Olave 104 and this and that, whatever. So with Joe, he drafted 6th overall, got Austin Eckler, loved that, A+. Aaron Jones in the second round, 11th overall pick because we do a snake draft. So coming back around, I'll give that an A. Keenan Allen in the third round, 22nd overall pick. That's an A. Jalen Waddle in the fourth round, 27th pick of our draft for the Marywood Alumni League. Jalen Waddle, I'm going to give that a B+, just because of the question mark of, Tua in this offense and just hoping things work out. But Jalen Waddle looked good last year. Chargers quarterback in the 5th round, that's an A+. I don't know if he throws, I don't know if anybody throws a better ball than in the NFL right now than Justin Herbert, as I've said many times. Greg said Lazard has a ton of question marks around him currently with an undisclosed injury and not practicing for the past week. Yeah. So, Lazard healthy is the score that I'm giving here. George Kittle in the 6th round, he's dipped, so I'll consider this a steal if he performs well, but he's had a rough couple years, which has taken him out of the running of being the number 1 tight end, maybe even the number 2 or number 3 or number 4 in the country. So 43rd overall, I'm going to give a George Kittle. I'll give this a B+. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray in the 7th round, 54th overall pick. I'm going to give that an A-. DK Metcalf, because of the quarterback situation, I'm going to give his talent as an A, but I'm going to give it a B because of the situation. Amon-Ra St. Brown, same type of thing with Jared Goff. I'm going to give this a B, a B minus, probably a B. Elijah Mitchell, running back for San Fran. They've had a stable of backs. They've had to use almost everybody due to injury every season. God willing, everybody stays healthy. I'm going to give Elijah Mitchell a B+. Adam Thielen in the 11th round, almost the 90th pick. I'm going to give this an A- because I think people forget about him because of Justin Jefferson. Tyler Lockett, he picked up both of the Seattle wide receivers. I think this is a B-. Tony Pollard, a steal in the 13th round, 102nd overall pick in our Marywood Alumni draft. Tony Pollard, I think, is eventually going to take over, arguably, for Ezekiel Elliott, so I'm going to give this an A-. 49ers quarterback in the 14th round as your backup quarterback, I'll give that a B+. Nyheim Hines, I covered him in college at NC State. I like Nyheim, 118th overall pick. Not a great fantasy guy, but we are in a league that includes PPR, so I'll give that a B. Cole Kmet as your backup tight end, I'm going to give that a B-. 49ers defense, I'm going to give that a B-. And Brandon McManus, I'll give that an A. So overall for Joe, I'm going to assess Joe Forgione and give him his draft grade. So we're going to do the Joe Forgione grade as a B for his draft. And then we'll move on to Dallas Roscoe, which is Ross Turetsky's. I believe that he was auto pick on some of this. He got Jonathan Taylor in the third overall pick because the first overall did not go Jonathan Taylor. That's an A+. Deebo Samuel in the second round, 14th overall pick. That's an A+. And because of where he got him to. And then I think CeeDee Lamb in the third round, 19th overall. That's an A. T. Higgins in the 4th round, that's an A minus. Michael Pittman in the 5th round, 35th overall. He's, this is another guy who I think will be helped out by a quarterback change. I'm going to say that's an A minus. Zeke in the 6th round, I'm going to say is a B. It's a good steal, but I think his draft stock is dropping. Deontay Johnson is the 51st overall pick. I'm going to give that an A. Marquise Hollywood Brown, let's see how he gels with Kyler Murray. I'm going to give it an A minus. Dalton Schultz, who I think is the 6th best tight end in the country, in the 9th round, 67th overall. I'm going to give that an A plus. Well, I'm going to give that an A. Devin Singletary, not sold on him. I'm going to give that a B minus. In the 10th round, Cordero Patterson in the 11th round, I'll give that a B. Cowboys quarterback as your only quarterback on this team. In the 12th round, 94th overall, I'm going to give that an A minus. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 99th overall pick, 13th round. He's dipped a lot, and he dipped very far in our draft. I'm going to give that in a B plus. There's an upside to it. Hopefully, or else I think his job might be done. Rashad Penny, I think, is going to be ousted by Kenneth Walker III, the rookie running back in Seattle. So that was a 14th round pick, not a bad one. Insurance policy, I'll give it a C plus. Hunter Henry as your backup tight end, not a bad thing. I'll give that an A minus. Ravens D, I'll give that an A minus. And Irv Smith as your 3rd tight end here, I'm going to give that a B. And then Tyler Bass, the Buffalo kicker, I'm going to give that an A. Or an A plus. So ultimately, taking a look at this, I had A plus, A plus, A plus, A plus, A minuses here. Some other ones that are in question here. I'm going to give Ross's draft. So I'm going to go with Ross here. I'm also going to give Ross a B in his draft. So I'm going to give him a B. And then we go to the Chiefs Kingdom, which is Brandon Smith and the Marywood Alumni. Draft grades here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Fantasy Football Power Hour, proudly presented by the Wildcat Sports Pub, 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. You can head there 7 days a week for indoor and outdoor seating as weather permits outside. And, of course, they have cornhole outside and they have volleyball. And, of course, you're going to be able to watch all the games there with the NFL ticket, as well as Major League Baseball games, college football games, and so on and so forth. And you could still do your drafts there as you head toward the season. And on top of all of that, big shout out to the Wildcat Sports Pub for their takeout and delivery if you're watching the games at home. 315-487-2222. Their fried dough, in my opinion, is the best in Central New York. And I know that's a big statement, but I live by it because it's very good. 315-487-2222. For the Marywood Alumni League draft grades for 2022 as we continue, for Brandon, I'm going to give him, for the Chiefs Kingdom, Cooper Kupp, 2nd overall pick, 1st round. That's an A+. Travis Kelce is a homer pick here. 15th overall, though. That's an A+. DeAndre Swift, I'll give it an A-. He's got to stay healthy. Getting Pat Mahomes in the 4th round, I'll give that an A+. Mike Evans in the 5th round, 34th overall, I'm going to give that an A+. Josh Jacobs, I think he's got upside. I'm going to give him an A-. Packers quarterback, backing up your Pat Mahomes. So you got Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Good move on this. I'm going to give that an A- for the Diva because I don't know how that wide receiver situation is going to work, but he puts numbers up. Juju is now Kansas City wide receiver, 63rd overall, 8th round pick. I'm going to give that a B- because of Juju. We'll see what he could do. It looks like a good pick, but Juju's got to perform in real life. Miles Sanders in the 9th round. I'm going to give that a B+ because he's got to stay healthy. Evan McPherson, way too early to draft a kicker. I'm going to give that a C. It's a good kicker, but way too early to draft it. Allen Robinson for the Rams in the 11th round, 82nd overall, back up to Cooper Kupp. I'm going to give that an A-. Sky Moore, I think he's going to be a sneaky, good pickup here at a rookie wide receiver. I'm going to give him a B+. Chase Claypool, I'm going to give him a B. Saints defense, a little bit early here. I'm going to give it a B-. Michael Carter, people forget about him with Breece Hall there. I'm going to give that a B. Hayden Hurst, I'm going to give that a C+. In Cincinnati now, David Njoku, I'm going to give that a C+. And J.D. McKissick, I'm going to give that a 143rd overall pick, last round pick. So I'm going to give J.D. McKissick, I'll give that a B. So overall, with Brandon's, I'm going to give Brandon Smith here his draft grade in our Marywood Alumni League. I'm going to give Brandon Smith a B minus. And then we'll move on to the Virginia Ballers, John Ball's team. Delvin Cook, 5th overall. I like it. I'm going to give it an A. Stephon Diggs in the second round, 12th overall, and this is to a Bills fan, but still later than I thought Stephon may go. I'm going to give Stephon Diggs, I'm going to give that an A+. James Conner in the 3rd round, I'm going to give that an A-. Josh Allen in the 4th round, 28th overall, that's an A+. Number 1 fantasy quarterback this year, in my opinion. Mike Williams in the 5th round, 37, I'm going to give that an A. Amari Cooper, I'm going to give that a B. In the 6th round, TJ, because he's on Cleveland now, I'm going to give that a B-. TJ Hawkinson, I'm going to give it a B+. Bills defense, way too early in the 8th round. I know it's a homer pick. I'm going to give that a C- for going way too early on that. I do like the defense, though. Hunter Renfrow in the 9th round in PPR involved. I'm going to give that a B+. Rams quarterback is your backup quarterback, Matt Stafford. I'm going to give that an A. Damian Harris, 15 touchdowns last year, 11th round, 85th overall. I'm going to give that an A-. Zach Ertz, I'm going to give it a B. DeAndre Hopkins, 6-game suspension, but got him in the 101st pick. I'm going to give that a B+, could be an A. Packers defense in the 14th round, getting your second defense. I'm going to give that a D as far as decision making. D is for decision. But I think, the defense, let's say C+, C-, somewhere. Well, let's say C. Let's go in the middle of the road, say C. James Cook in the 15th round. I think he's a steal. I think he's going to become the starting running back at Buffalo. I'm going to give that a B+. Tyler Higbee, starting tight end for the Rams. I'm going to give that I'm going to give that a B. Harrison Butker, your kicker out of Kansas City, I'll give that an A. And Tyler Boyd, wide receiver out of Cincinnati, I'm going to give that a C+. So overall, I'm going to give John Ball's team, let's see here. So for John Ball, his draft grade is going to be, I'm going to give him a B- as well. And then we have Cooking for More, and this is Matt Esseff's team. So Matt Essef, Derrick Henry, 1st overall. Should have went Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to give that an A- because I do like the pick. Tyreek Hill, 16th overall. I know he's in Miami. People freak out about Tua, but I'm going to give that an A-. Mark Andrews, number 1 tight end in the 3rd round. I'm going to give that an A+. DJ Moore, 1,000-yard receiver, whoever his quarterback is. I'm going to give DJ Moore, 32nd overall, 4th round. I'm going to give that an A-. Saquon Barkley in the 5th round. Let's give him a B, because we'll see what he does. Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady in the 6th round. Put up over 5,000 yards at 44 years old last year. I'm going to give that an A. Russell Wilson with Denver, I'm going to give that an A-. 2 quarterbacks back-to-back, tough. Could be an A, but I'm going to give it A- because of the timing in the 7th round. Cortland Sutton, I like the 1-2 punch with Russell Wilson and Cortland Sutton. I'm going to give that an A-. A.J. Dillon, I'm going to give that a B. Justin Tucker, too early to take a kicker, C-. However, he is an A kicker if you took him later on. Kenyon Drake, who's now in Baltimore, was in Vegas, I think, at the time that we drafted. I'm going to give this a C-. Mike Gesicki, tight end in Miami. He's done some good things since coming into the league. I'll give that a B. Melvin Gordon, the 3rd, I'll give that a B-. Devontae Smith, I'm going to give that a B+. DJ Shark, I'm going to give that a C. Albert Akwajbenem, the Denver tight end, I'm going to give that a D at this point. Marquez maybe a C-. I'll say D+. Marquez Valdez-Scantling in Kansas City now. I'm going to give that a D. And Commanders defense, I'm going to say that's an A-. So I'm going to give Matt Esseff's draft grade here. So Matt Essef is going to get a C- in our draft. And then the last one, insider information. This league belongs to Duran. And this was auto drafted, but I'll just go through it here. Christian McCaffrey, Devontae Adams, Leonard Fournette, Cam Akers, David Montgomery. This is in order of rounds. Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson, Brandon Cooks, Darnell Mooney, Gabe Davis, Jalen Hurts, Eagles quarterback, Rashawn Bateman, Dallas Goedert, Chase Edmonds, Dawson Knox, Noah Fant, Colts D, and Daniel Carson as Vegas Raiders. See, the computer knows how to draft, so they drafted later on here, like it. Duran might have been, well, no, this was drafted by the computer. So I'm going to give the insider information, which is going to end up being Duran's team. So I'm going to say Duran Dickerson. The computer, to me, drafted pretty well for you. I'm going to give it a B. I'll give it a B. So, would be a little bit higher, but, it was auto-picked. So that's what I'm going to give it for that. We're going to jump into our next league, which is the one down in Hooters. So let's go to the Hooters League, and my team is called Can I Go to Disney Now in that one. So we're gonna give that one and see if we can put this together. So let's go ahead with this, and we're going to bring you this one. So let's go with our first team here in the WakeUpCall Orlando League, which is the oldest fantasy league I do. It's 12 years old, and we draft down at Hooters I Drive in Orlando exclusively on 8801 International Drive. If you're down in Orlando, Florida, go over and see them. Buckhammer's team is who we're going to start with, and for the Buckhammers, this first team here that we'll get rocking and rolling with has won a championship, so shout out to them for that. Both father and son have won a championship. Buckhammer's team is Mark Alott, so we'll go to Mark's team first. And he had Austin Eckler, 5th overall. Love that. That's an A+. Jamar Chase in the 2nd round, 12th. That's an A+. CeeDee Lamb in the 3rd round. I'm going to give that an A. Darren Waller in the 4th round at tight end. We had a run on early tight ends here, so I'm going to give Darren Waller in the 4th round. I'm going to say that's an A-. Michael Pittman, 5th round. I'm going to give that a B+, having a new quarterback in Matty Ice from Boston College. Speaking of the Eagles quarterback in the 6th round, I'll give that an A-. Allen Robinson, 53rd overall. I'm going to give that an A-. J.K. Dobbins in the 8th round, I'm going to give that an A-. Antonio Gibson, I'm going to give that a B+. Tony Pollard in the 10th round, I'm going to give that an A-. Robert Woods, I'm going to give that a C+, because we'll see how that's going to work out. Michael Carter, see what I did there? C. And then we have Michael Carter in the 12th round. I like that. I'll give that a B. Nyheim Hines in the 13th round. I'll give that a B. Bills defense in the 14th round. I'll give that A-. A-. A little bit early. So I'm going to say A-, B+. Chase Claypool in the 15th round. I'm going to give that a B. Russell Gage in Tampa now from Atlanta. I'm going to give that a B. Harrison Butker, Kansas City kicker, I'll give that an A in the 17th round. And then Chris Evans, Cincinnati, backup running back to Joe Mixon. I'm going to give that a B-. So overall for Buckhammer's team, he knows what he's doing. Mark is very smart. And so this is now Wake Up Call. Let me get these all set up for you in the feed. So this is now the Wake Up Call Orlando League draft grades. So we're now bringing that to you in real time. So we can go back and watch this video. You can see the timestamp of when I put these in, so then you can know what's coming up. So Mark, I'm going to draft you out. I'm going to give Mark an A. I know how smart he is with all this. Team Elite, his son who also won, Jonathan Taylor. He got Jonathan Taylor 8th overall. Which, no, that's not right. That's not correct. Okay, so this must have been put in differently because Stefan was the number 1 pick. So Jonathan Taylor, Delvin Cook, Deebo Samuel, those are all A's. Jonathan Taylor, A+. Delvin Cook in the 2nd round, I'm going to give that an A. Deebo Samuel in the 3rd round, I'm going to give that an A+. A.J. Brown in the 4th round. I'm going to give that an A. I'm going to give that a B+. Chargers quarterback in the 5th round, A. James Conner in the 6th round, A-. DK Metcalf in the 7th round, B+. Juju Smith-Schuster in the 8th round, I'm going to say B-. Marquise Hollywood Brown in the 9th round, new quarterback, I'm going to say B+. Michael Thomas in the 10th round, question mark, I'm going to say B. Miles Sanders in the 11th round, I'm going to say B+. TJ Hawkinson in the 12th round, first tight end that he got on the team, only tight end he has on the team, I'm going to give that a... I'm going to give that a B. Damian Harris in the 13th round, B+. Amon-Ra St. Brown, B. Bucks defense in the 15th round, I'm going to say B+. Chase Edmonds in Miami, as I try to figure that out, I'm going to say B. Justin Tucker, Baltimore kicker, 17th round, best kicker in the NFL, that's an A+. And 49ers defense to round it out, I'll give an A. So I'm going to give Steffen's, well, Steffen here, the one thing is the tight end position. If not for that, he may have an A+. I'm going to give Steffen an A as well. And then we'll go to Wicked Leicester, which is Eric Cooper's group. Christian McCaffrey, that man's a question mark, so I'll give that a B+. Stephon Diggs, I'll give that an A in the 2nd round. Mark Andrews in the 3rd round, A+. Nick Chubb in the 4th round, I'm going to give that an A+. Well, I'm going to give that an A+. Kyler Murray in the 5th round, I'm going to give that an A. Mike Williams, I'm going to give that an A in the 6th round. Josh Jacobs, I'm going to give that an A- because he's in a contract year. He's auditioning for the NFL. If the Raiders don't keep him, Cortland Sutton in the 8th round, I'm going to give that an A-. Darnell Mooney, I'm going to give that a B. David Montgomery, I'm going to give that a B. Damian Pierce, I like this pick. I think he's going to be the starter in Houston. I said that well before. I said that weeks ago. So... coming out of the Florida Gators, I'm going to give that a low-key B+, could be an A-. Singletary, I'm going to give that a B-, even though it was 12th round. Matt Ryan as your backup quarterback, I like that. I'm going to give that a B. Patriots defense, a little bit too early. I'm going to give that a B-. Tyler Lockett, a B-. Jacoby Myers, a B. Tyler Bass, Buffalo kicker, 17th round, that's an A. And Elijah Moore with the Jets, I'm going to give that a B. So, overall, I'm going to draft grade. So, Eric Cooper. Let's see. I'm going to give Eric Cooper an overall draft grade of an A-. The guys are really smart down in Florida. It's insane. Clever name coming. I like that one. Clever name coming for Rick. Rick Justin Jefferson in the 1st round, A+. Tyreek Hill in the 2nd round. He's a Miami fan, but a good pick there. I'm going to give that an A-. Kyle Pitts in the 3rd round, an A. Javonte Williams in the 4th round. I'm going to give that an A. Pat Mahomes in the 5th round. I'm going to give that an A. Yeah, I'm going to give that an A. DeAndre Swift in the 6th round, A-. Travis Etienne, and his last name is Etienne. It's spelled the same. So I always love that. He took him. He told me he had to. I understand it, even though he's my Jag. So Travis Etienne, Jr., 7th round. I'm going to say B+, because we're still trying to figure out that situation. Cam Akers in the 8th round. Good pickup. Got to stay healthy. B-. Chris Godwin in the 9th round. That's an A. Brandon Cooks, top receiver in Houston. Still a question mark. I'm going to give that a B-. I'm going to give it a B. Christian Kirk in Jacksonville. I'm going to give that a B because we'll see what happens. Cordero Patterson, running back in Atlanta, 12th round. I'm going to give that a B+. I'm going to give that a B. We totally forgot. I crossed him out on accident, or else I really heavily would have drafted him, but I crossed him out on my list thinking, I thought I crossed him out. He was by all these other names I had crossed out. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm telling you a fact. Like, I thought he was off the list. Lamar Jackson got drafted in the 13th round. That's an A++. Kareem Hunt in the 14th round. I'm going to give that an A+. DeAndre Hopkins, 6-game suspension. I'm going to give that a B+. Packers defense. In the 16th round, I'll give that an A-. Brandon McManus, Denver kicker, I'll give that an A. Brian Robinson, Washington. He got shot. God willing, he'll be okay. And hopefully he'll be able to play and get back. Alabama running back that I covered in the college football playoff. Brian Robinson, I'm going to give that a B minus. So for Rick's overall team here, taking a look at this, I think, let's see here. So for Rick, I'm going to give Rick an A minus. And the TSR Gigaxians, this is Nick Manito's team. And so Derrick Henry in the first round, I'm going to give that, it wasn't the first round, I'm going to give that an A. Yeah, I'm going to give that an A. And Devontae Adams, second round, I'm going to give that an A minus. We'll see how he fits in, but I think that could be an A plus. Leonard Fournette, third round, a little bit too early, B plus. George Kittle, fourth round, tight end, I'm going to give that a B plus. Dallas quarterback in the fifth round, I'm going to give that a B. T. Higgins in the sixth round, I'm going to give that a B because of the fact that I want to see more from him. B because, there you go. Deontay Johnson, seventh round, I'm going to give that a C plus. I do like Deontay Johnson, but we'll see. I think that was a little bit maybe too early. Russell Wilson, Broncos quarterback, eighth round, I'm going to give that an A minus. Elijah Mitchell, I'm going to give that an A minus in the ninth round. Dawson Knox, Buffalo tight end, they really bought into him. I'm going to give that an A minus. Matt Stafford as another quarterback on your team, backup quarterback. I'm going to give Matty Stafford backup to the backup. Now, you don't really need three quarterbacks. I'm going to give it a B for Matt Stafford, but you don't need to. I wouldn't have drafted three quarterbacks. Kadarius Toney for the Giants, I'm going to give that a C plus. We'll see how that works out. Melvin Gordon the third, I'll give that a 13th round. I'm going to give that a B minus. Saints defense in the 14th round, a little early. I'll give that a B. Drake London, Atlanta, I think he'll end up being the number one receiver. Kyle Pitts is a tight end, mind you. So I think that they'll be able to hopefully help each other out. I'm going to give that a B minus for now. J.D. McKissick, I'm going to give that a B minus. Matt Gay, I'm going to give that 17th round Rams kicker. I'm going to give that an A. Hunter Henry, 18th round, that's an A for picking him when you did. So I'm going to say for Nick Manito's team here in our Wake Up Call Orlando League draft grades, our oldest league, 12 years old this year, I'm going to give Nick Manito I'm going to give Nick a B minus on his draft. And then we'll go to the Orlando Breakers, our reigning champion for the Wake Up Call Orlando League, Jason Lucas. Travis Kelce in the first round. A little bit too early for me. I'm going to give that a B plus. Aaron Jones in the second round, I'm going to give that a B. Joe Mixon in the third round, I'm going to give that an A because of when he drafted him. Mike Evans in the fourth round, I'm going to give that an A. Bucks quarterback Tom Brady in the fifth round, I'm going to give that an A minus. Jalen Waddle in the sixth round, I'm going to give that an A minus. Gabe Davis, homer pick because of UCF where he played. I'm going to give that seventh round pick. I'm going to give that a B because we still have to see Gabe step up. He did it after fantasy. In reality, in the playoffs last year, after the fantasy playoffs wrapped up, because fantasy playoffs happen in the final regular season weeks. And then in the postseason, that's when he really shot out. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 8th round, a little bit early. I'm going to give that a B minus. Devontae Smith in the 9th round, I'm going to give that an B plus. Rashad Penny, I'm going to give that a B. Van Jefferson for the Rams in the 11th round, I'm going to give that a B minus. I'm going to give that a C plus, actually. Bengals quarterback of the 12th round, I'm going to give that an A. Darrell Henderson Jr. from the Rams, who ran all over his UCF team when he was playing for Memphis, did that in the bounce house. Even though UCF won, Darrell Henderson did a really good job. Still trying to figure that out with the Rams between him and Cam Akers, two running backs I covered in college and now professionally. And it's a 13th round pick. I'm going to give it a B plus. Ravens defense in the 14th round, a little early. I'm going to give that a B. Michael Gallup for Dallas, got to show himself, 15th round. I'm going to give that a B. Mo Alley Cox, tight end out of Indy. I'm going to give that a B minus. Daniel Carlson, Vegas kicker, I'm going to give that an A. And Traquan Smith, New Orleans wide receiver, I'm going to give that a C for the time being. So I am going to grade out Jason's team here. And Jason, for me, is going to... all things point to Robinson making a recovery, and we'll see the playing field this season. Yeah, for Brian Robinson, so excited about that. Thank you for that message, Greg. So for Jason Lucas's team, I'm going to give Jason a B minus as well. And my final team, St. Augustine football, meatball number 1. As you know, I'm meatball number 2. My older brother, Joe Orlando III. We're going to grade out Joe's team. Packers quarterback, took him in the first round too early. That's a B. Zeke Elliott in the second round. That's a B. Adam Thielen in the third round. That's a B. Keenan Allen in the fourth round, though, after Adam Thielen. That's an A. Saquon Barkley in the fifth round. I'm going to say a low-key B+. Allen Lazard in the sixth round to have that 1-2 punch with Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to give that an A. I'm going to give that a B+. Amari Cooper in the seventh round. I'm going to give that a B because of the quarterback situation. A.J. Dillon in the eighth round. I'm going to give that a B. Zach Ertz in the ninth round. I'm going to give that a B. Hunter Renfrow, Vegas Raiders wide receiver in the 10th round with PPR involved. I'm going to give that a B+. James Robinson in the 11th round. I'm going to give that a B+. Patriots quarterback as your backup. I'm going to give that a B-. Steelers defense in the 14th round. I'm going to give that a B. Isaiah Spiller with the Chargers. I think he's going to get some time with Austin Eckler. This is a 15th round pick. I'm going to give that a B+. Dallas Goedert, tight end. Your first tight end? No, your backup tight end. So Dallas Goedert, well, he's got both of the former Philadelphia, right? Dallas Goedert's in Philadelphia. Ertz used to be, so former teammates, I should say. I'm going to give that an A- because of when he got him. Randall Cobb likes Green Bay Packers. 17th round, I'm going to give that a C+. And Ryan Suckup, Tampa Bay kicker, I'll give that an A. So I'm going to give Joe in this one. I love you. I love you, my brother. Please know that I love you. I'm going to give him my first C+ of the day. So with that being said, we're going to take a step aside for a fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. This is our Wake Up Call Fantasy Football Power Hour, proudly presented exclusively by the Wildcat Sports Pub, 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York, in the Home Depot Plaza. Go and see them for indoor and outdoor seating for every NFL game this season. And if you're going to order takeout or delivery, go to 315-487-2222 on your phone. Dial it up now, 315-487-2222 for game day and every day from the Wildcat. We'll take a step aside. We'll be back with the draft grades for our Central New York leagues, drafting on-site, on location at the Wildcat Sports Pub. Those leagues will come up to you right after this.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios where sports truly meets that thing called life. Always happy to have you here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, whether you're watching and listening on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT, facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as on mixlr.com/WakeUpCallDT, and of course on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage, as well as on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. So however you're connecting with the show, thank you so much for being a part of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. We are inside of the Cafe Kubal studios on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners, where you will find them in North Syracuse at their drive-through location. So make sure you head out to Cafe Kubal today, let them know that Wake Up Call sent you, and spread some love and fill your cup up right. Pumpkin spice is back, so it's perfect that my sun is orange going into the coffee cup because the pumpkin spice went into my cup of chai yesterday at Cafe Kubal. So thank you to Cafe Kubal for all that you do. With that being said, continuing on with the Fantasy Football Power Hour, proudly presented by the Wildcat Sports Pub, 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. It is time for us to get to our Wake Up Call Central New York Leagues. That's right, baby. Inside of the Fantasy Football Power Hour, proudly presented by the Wildcat Sports Pub, 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. Make sure you head out there every Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week for all your watching pleasure. And if you're going to watch from home, order takeout and delivery by calling 315-487-2222. That's 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat. It is now time inside of the Fantasy Football Power Hour to get my 2022 Wake Up Call Central New York draft grades for all my teams, all my owners that drafted inside of our Central New York Leagues here in the community. So we're going to head first to the Gridiron Gurus League is what it's called. And so I'll be giving you my thoughts on everybody inside of the Gridiron Gurus, and always appreciate everyone that joins our fantasy football leagues here in Central and Upstate New York. So we're going to be draft recapping the Gridiron Gurus. I'm going to start things off with Team West, Mark West, who's been with me from the beginning of the 11 years drafting here in Central New York with our Wake Up Call Fantasy Football Challenge. He got Delvin Cook here. I'm going to give Mark West in the first round. I'm going to give that an A-. Leonard Fournette in the second round, we'll give that an A-. Travis Kelce in the third round, we'll give that an A. Saquon Barkley in the fourth round, B+, could be an A-. Elijah Mitchell in the fifth round, I'm going to give that an A-. Mike Williams, I'm going to give that an A in the sixth round. Cortland Sutton in the seventh round, I'm going to give that an A- because I got Russ the Bus now. Michael Thomas, eighth round, still a B. Got to figure out what he's going to be this year. Bengals quarterback in the ninth round is your first quarterback. I'm going to give that an A+. Daniel Carlson, Vegas kicker. Too early to take a kicker. I know he does that, but I'm going to give that a C+ because of the timing. Melvin Gordon, the third in the 11th round. I'm going to give that a B because he has Javonte Williams back there with him. But they did bring him back, so there is value to that. That's why it's not a C, because I think Melvin Gordon will be utilized at some point in some way. Ravens defense in the 12th round, a little bit too early here. I'm going to give this because of the timing, I'm going to give it a B-. Sky Moore in the 13th round, I'm going to give that a B+. Matt Ryan is your backup quarterback in the 14th round. I'm going to give that an A-. Brandon Ayuk of San Francisco, I'm going to give that a B+. Tyler Algier, I like him, rookie running back. Mark and I, we go deep when we're drafting. We get into it, and I know he does his research. So 16th round, I'm going to give that a low-key B+. Mike Gesicki in the 17th round, I'm going to give that an A+ because of the timing. Devontae Parker with the Patriots now. A wide receiver, long time with Miami, supposed to be the number one, never worked out. I'm going to give him a B- on that. So overall, I am going to give... so I'm going to give Mark, and Mark knows how to do some really good things. So I'm going to give Mark an A- in this one. Start off our Central New York Leagues. And Chicks Dig the Pigskin too. That's been the team name for a long time, and she is a champion of our Central New York leagues. Becky Stiles Oliver. She took Christian McCaffrey in the first round. If he's healthy, so I'm going to give that an A minus. DeAndre Swift, second round here pick. A little bit early for me. I'm going to give it a B plus. Justin Herbert in the third round, quarterback. I'm going to give that an A. Tyreek Hill in the fourth round. I'm going to give that an A. T.J. Hawkinson, Detroit tight end in the fifth round is your first tight end. We had a run of tight ends here. I'm going to give that a B minus. Zach Ertz in the sixth round right after. I'm going to give that a B minus. Antonio Gibson, Washington, running back. I'm going to give that a B. Gabe Davis in the eighth round, a little bit too high. I'm going to give that a B. Tony Pollard, Dallas. I think he'll eventually take over. I'm going to give that, that's a ninth round pick. I'm going to give that a B. I'm going to get a B plus. Christian Kirk in the 10th round, Jacksonville. They paid him like he's a top receiver. We'll see, hopefully. He's wearing my grandfather's lucky number 13 and playing for my Jaguars. So I'm going to give Christian Kirk I'm going to give that a B. Rashad Bateman, 11th round, Baltimore, number one wide receiver. I'm going to give that a B. Brandon McManus, Denver kicker, too high in the 12th round. I'm going to give it a C+. Packers defense, 13th round, too high. I'm going to give it a B minus. Ronald Jones in Kansas City now back up to Clyde, could take over. 14th round. I'm going to give that a B. The Vikings quarterback is your backup quarterback at the 15th round. I'm going to give that an A. DJ Shark, Detroit, 16th round, coming from Jacksonville. I'm going to give that a B. Kenneth Gainwell, she's a Philly fan, but she drafted a lot of Detroit almost to take it away from Johnny. But Detroit, DJ Shark, Philadelphia, she did get a Philadelphia guy, Kenneth Gainwell, 17th round, backup running back there. He'll get some touches. I'm going to give that a C+. And Buccaneers defense, 18th round, backup defense. I'm going to give that a B minus. So overall, and Becky's a sweet, sweet lady, and she's going to love to prove me wrong. I'm going to give her a B minus on this one. So for this draft itself, I'm going to give Becky a B minus. Next one up here, we have one heller of a team from Bill Heller. Alvin Kamara in the first round. A little early here. I'm going to give Alvin Kamara, I'm going to give this a B plus. I think it's a little early because he dropped in some other ones. Devontae Adams in the second round out of Vegas. I'm going to give that a B plus. Lamar Jackson is your quarterback, third round. Could have let him drop a little bit. So I'm going to give that a B plus. Darren Waller in the fourth round, I'm going to give that an A. Josh Jacobs in the fifth round, I'm going to give that an A minus. Michael Pittman in the sixth round, I'm going to give that an A minus. Deontay Johnson, he is a Steeler fan, seventh round, I'm going to give that a B plus. Cordero Patterson, Atlanta running back, eighth round, I'm going to give that a B. Adam Thielen in the ninth round, I'm going to give that a B plus. Chase Edmonds out of Miami, 10th round, I'm going to give that a B. Allen Robinson the second in the 11th round, I'm going to give that a B plus, maybe an A minus. Nick Folk, way too early for a kicker, C plus. Tyler Lockett, 13th round, Seattle, but still the quarterback situation, I'm going to give that a B. Cowboys defense, a little bit early, I'll give that a B. Alexander Madison, Minnesota running back up to Delvin Cook, 15th round, I'm going to give that a B minus. Mark Ingram, back up to Alvin Kamara, I'm going to give that in the 16th round a C plus. Logan Thomas, your backup tight end, I'm going to give that a B minus. And your Steelers quarterback as your backup quarterback in the 18th round. Kenny Pickett will eventually take over, I believe. Mitch Trubisky's there now. So I'm going to give Bill Heller a draft grade of a C in this one. And continuing with our Central New York leagues that drafted at the Wildcat Sports Pub, OHIO, this is Lisa Ross's team. Shout out to Lisa. We have a lot of women in our leagues, and they win championships. Aaron Roberts, as well as Becky Stiles Oliver, are champions. And now we have Lisa Ross in here. We have Carissa, who's going to be joining us this year as well. Shout out to Carissa as well, and much love to her. So Carissa coming in for the first time ever. Lisa Ross coming in as well. We're going to do Lisa's team, OHIO, but you can't guess who her college team is. Carissa Stachersky is going to be joining us. Her team is going to be coming up in a little bit. So Lisa's team, Stephon Diggs in the first round, a little bit early. I want to say A minus. CeeDee Lamb, second round, A minus. Kyler Murray, third round, A. Cam Akers, fourth round, a little bit high for me because of the injuries and Darrell Henderson being there. I'm going to give that a B. I'm going to give it a B. Zeke Elliott in the fifth round, and give that a B. Bills defense, way too early, C. Kareem Hunt in the seventh round, I'm going to give that a B minus, B. DK Metcalf in the eighth round, B because of the situation. David Njoku, ninth round. Is this your first tight end that she took? We had a run. I'm going to say C+. Justin Tucker, Baltimore kicker, love him, but C+. Too early for a kicker, 10th round. It's like midway through the draft. Jarvis Landry, New Orleans wide receiver now from Miami, and then the Browns. I'm going to say C+. Damian Harris, New England running back. I'm going to say B+. James Robinson, 13th round. I'm going to say B+. Robert Woods, Tennessee, C+. Browns quarterback as your backup. Not until week 11 for Watson. I'm going to say C. Marlon Mack, who's a free agent now, but was a Houston Texan. I'm going to say that's a D because of the situation. Jacoby Myers, a New England wide receiver. I'm going to say B minus. And Hunter Henry, I'm going to say B plus, being your tight end, your backup tight end drafted in the 18th round, which I would actually have drafted above David Njoku. So OHIO, Lisa Ross for your first draft here. I'm going to give Lisa a B minus. And then we'll jump into the book of More Mom, and this is Joe Russell's team. Shout out to Joe coming back. Derrick Henry, I like that first round pick. I'm going to give you an A on that. James Conner in the second round. Little early, but I like him. I'm going to give you an B plus there. Broncos quarterback taken too early here. I'm going to give that a B. T. Higgins in the fourth round. I'll give that an A minus. Jerry Jeudy in the fifth round. I'll give that an A minus. Breece Hall in the sixth round. He is a Jets fan, but I do like the pick and where it is. I'm going to give that an A minus. B plus. Juju Smith-Schuster, Kansas City, seventh round. I'm going to give that a B plus. Corey Davis, I'm going to give that a D plus. I know that was a homer pick. A.J. Dillon in the ninth round. I'm going to give that a B plus. Devontae Smith in the 10th round. I'm going to give that an A minus. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I'm going to give that a B. Jake Elliott, too early for a kicker, C. Colts defense, too early for that in the 13th round, C. Benny Snell Jr. for Pitt. May sniff some action. Snell like smell. I'm going to give that a B. Robbie Anderson, who was a Jet, now in Carolina. That's a question mark. I thought he'd do more last year. His hair looked like Angelica from the Rugrats in his picture. I'm going to give that a B minus. Matt Prater, backup kicker, Arizona, in the league that we have. I'm going to give that a D. Chuba Hubbard, nice backup, 17th round. And he doesn't have Christian McCaffrey, but I think Chuba will get time. I'm going to give that, because he'll get third down. He'll get maybe some goal line stuff. And he should get opportunities in general just because of how often Christian McCaffrey's been injured. I'm going to give that an A minus at the time of the pick. And Tyler Conklin as a tight end. Is that the only tight end he has on the team? Yeah, I'm going to give that a C plus. So Joe is going to get, I think he's going to get my only C minus that I've given. So yeah, C minus for Joe Russell. Next team, T-E-Rob for Aaron Roberts. Jonathan Taylor, give it up. That's an A plus. Aaron Jones, she's a homer, Green Bay, second round. I'm going to give that an A minus. Pat Mahomes in the third round, A. Dalton Schultz in the fourth round, A. Keenan Allen in the fifth round, A plus. Marquise Hollywood Brown in the sixth round, A minus. Brandon Cooks, B plus. Packers quarterback in the eighth round, not a bad one at that time, A minus. Harrison Butker way too early, C. Kenneth Walker the third, Seattle, 10th round. I like it. I think he'll eventually take over, B plus. Jamal Williams, Detroit, former Green Bay Packer in the 11th round. I'm going to say B minus. Julio Jones now at Tampa in the 12th round, B. 49ers defense too early, B minus. Nyheim Hines, 14th round, B. Moelle Cox, Indiana tight end, Indianapolis tight end and a backup one. I'm going to say C+, B-. Tyler Boyd, third string wide receiver in Cincinnati. I'm going to say C. Jamison Williams, Detroit, take a flyer right, take it away from her husband. Johnny, who's a Detroit fan, coming off an ACL injury, Alabama speedster. I'm going to say low-key B. And Jerick McKinnon, Kansas City, I'm going to say B. So I'm going to give, Deontay Foreman in the backup role, right? So Greg writing that in. Aaron, I'm going to give Aaron a B. I know she's going to not like me for that, but it's how I feel. Chase for the Cup. So Chase for the Cup, and that team is Johnny's team. Johnny Roberts, who understood that as a true Detroit fan, you support Matty Stafford wherever he goes. So, because you got to thank him for what he did, and I think Detroit fans should be Matty Stafford fans, even though he's with the Rams. Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase back-to-back, A+. Chubb in the third round, A. I'm going to say A+. George Kittle in the fourth round, A-. Matt Stafford, too early, so I'm going to say B. Amon-Ra St. Brown out of Detroit, sixth round, too early. I'm going to say B-. Miles Sanders in the seventh round. I'd like him to stay healthy. I'm going to say B. Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the eighth round. He's been dipping. He's dipped farther. I'm going to say B. DeAndre Hopkins, too early for the 6-game suspension. Ninth round. I'm going to say B-. Evan McPherson, too early. C. Chris Olave, New Orleans. I think he'll be the number one receiver this year. 11th round. I'm going to say Chris Olave. I'm going to say this is a B+. Dak Prescott, 12th round as your backup quarterback. I'm going to say that's an A-. Evan Ingram, Jags tight end, big time question mark at tight end there. So I'm going to say C+. Steelers defense in the 14th round. I'm going to say B-. George Pickens, Steelers wide receiver, rookie, another Ohio State guy. I'm going to say B-. B. I'm going to say B. Rashad Penny in the 16th round, Seattle. I like that. Even with Kenneth Walker, take it over. I'm going to say B+. Darrell Henderson, Rams 17th round. I like that too. I'm going to say B+. And Chargers defense as your only defense, I'm going to say is an A if they all stay healthy. So Johnny Roberts, I'm going to give Johnny Roberts his draft grade. I'm going to give him an A- on this. So, and then Bills Toohey, John Toohey, who just won a championship. First round, Austin Eckler. I'm going to give him an A+ for that. He is a Bills fan, but Bills quarterback in the second round, I'll give that an A+. J.K. Dobbins in the third round, A-. Mike Evans in the fourth round, I'm going to give that an A. A.J. Brown in the fifth round, Philly. I'm going to give that an A-. Dawson Knox in the sixth round, Buffalo tight end, I'm going to give that an A-. Godwin in the seventh round, so he's got Evans and Godwin. I'm going to give that an A-. Alan Lazard in the eighth round, I'm going to give that an A-. James Cook, I'm going to give it a B+ because of the situation. James Cook in the ninth round, Buffalo, I think he'll take over. I wanted James Cook in all my drafts, so I'm going to give that an A-. Isaiah Spiller, back-to-back rookie running backs, I'm going to give that a B+. Chase Claypool, Pitt, I'm going to say B+ at the time, 11th round. 49ers backup quarterback in the 12th round, I'm going to give that an A-. Tyler Higbee in the 13th round, I'm going to give that an A-. Tyler Bass in a little bit too early, 14th round, so I'll give it a B+. McCole Hardman, Kansas City, question mark, I'm going to give that a B. Michael Carter, I'm going to give that at the time 16th round, B+. Gus Edwards, Baltimore, not a bad pickup, I'm going to say B. Broncos defense and special teams as your only, Browns defense, pardon me, I'm going to give that a B. So, yeah, Erin is watching. She told me I'm fired. You can't fire me, Erin. I own my own business, but I love you very much. You know that I love you deeply, and you're my family, and you mean the world to me. And you know what, Erin? Find me a good girlfriend. How about that, okay? You and Johnny are so protective of me. Find me a good lady. John Toohey, reigning champion for our this Wake Up Call Central New York League, the drafts at the Wildcat, the Gridiron Gurus. You get an A, Toohey, so good draft here. Karski, in her first time, Carissa here. Joe Mixon in the first round. I'm going to give that an A-. Deebo Samuel in the second round, and give that an A. Jalen Hurts, she is an Eagles fan like her mom, I believe. So I'm going to give that as too early, B. Kyle Pitts in the fourth round, A+. David Montgomery, Chicago, fifth round running back, I'm going to give that a B. DJ Moore in the 6th round, I'm going to give that an A. Devin Singletary, Buffalo, too early, 7th round. And it was before James Cook was drafted, so I'm going to give that a C. Amari Cooper, I'm going to give it a C+ or a B-. Let's say B-. Buccaneers, Tom Brady in the 9th round, give that an A. Saints defense in the middle of the draft, too early. C. J.D. McKissick, 11th round, I'm going to give that a C-. Matt Gay, too early for a kicker, C. Elijah Mitchell, 13th round, Jets wide receiver, I'm going to give that a B. I'm going to give that a C+. Darrell Williams in Arizona now backing up James Conner. I'm going to give that a C+. Josh Palmer for the Chargers wide receiver. I'm going to give that a B-, C+. Austin Hooper, Tennessee tight end now. I'm going to give that a C+. Marvin Jones Jr., Jacksonville. I'm going to give that a B-. And Chris Evans out of Cincinnati, running back to back up Joe Mixon as your handcuff. Carissa, I'm going to give you for that C+, because you did a nice thing there with getting yourself a nice handcuff, potentially. So Carissa's grade for her first draft, I'm going to give her a C. So with that being said, we're going to take our final step aside. We'll be back with our other Central New York Wake Up Call League that drafts at the Wildcat Sports Pub right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Draft grades for 2022 coming out for all of my people right after this.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5 Camillus, where you will find handcrafted all-natural soy wax candles over 60 cents to freshen up your home. We carry a wide range of locally made items, Salsa Q's, Syracuse Salt, and Chocolate Pizza Company, to name a few. Let our knowledgeable staff help choose unique gifts and keepsakes for any occasion. Gifts for family and friends, and maybe a little something for yourself. Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5 Camillus.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, where sports meets that thing called life. We are here in the Fantasy Football Power Hour, not one of, not a, but the Fantasy Football Power Hour, and always proud to bring that to you every Wednesday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Under promise, over deliver, giving you extra time here as I provide for you every draft grade of every fantasy owner in the Wake Up Call Fantasy Football Leagues, starting with the Marywood Alumni League, moving to the Hooters iDrive Orlando League, and to the Wildcat Sports Pub leagues that we draft here in Central and Upstate New York. My final league, Captains on Call, to give you my draft grades for are coming up here right now in this moment. Very excited to do this. And so with that being said, let's get right into it. And we'll start off here with my Captains on Call League. Some of these people have been with me since the beginning. I can't fight this Thielen. Love the names that the guys come up with in this league as well. So can't fight this Thielen. We're going to start with that one. And can't fight this Thielen belongs to Phil Carpenter, who has won one of our recent championships here. Shout out to Phil. He takes Christian McCaffrey here on the back end of the first round. So I'm going to give that an A. I'll give that an A if he stays healthy. So let's say A-. Javonte Williams, second round. I like that. I'm going to give that an A. Bills quarterback in the third round, Josh Allen, A+. Kittle in the fourth round, A-. Terry McLaurin in the fifth round, 1,000-yard receiver, whoever throws to him. I'm going to give that an A-. Chris Godwin in the sixth round, I'm going to give that an A-. Adam Thielen in the seventh round, I'm going to give that a B+. DeAndre Hopkins, a little bit early here for a guy who's suspended. I'm going to give that a... DeAndre Hopkins, 8th round. I'm going to give that a B. Brandon Ayuk in the 9th round. He is a Niners fan, and he did wait until then to draft a Niner. So I'm going to give him a B on that one. Cordero Patterson in the 10th round. I'll give that a B+. Russell Gage in Tampa now. I'm going to give that a B+. Mike Gesicki, Miami, 12th round. I'm going to give that an A-. Tom Brady in the 13th round, A+. Chuba Hubbard, Carolina, 14th round, handcuff here. So I'm going to give that a B+. Devontae Parker with the Patriots now. I'm going to give that a B. 49ers defense in the 16th round. I'm going to give that an, if they stay healthy, A-. Harrison Butker, Kansas City kicker. I'm going to give that an A. And Eagles defense is a backup defense. I'm going to give that, I'm not a proponent of drafting two defenses, so for Phil, I'm going to give that an A. I'm going to give that a B. So overall, Phil, I think that's your draft grade you're going to be happy with here. I'm going to give Phil Carpenter an A on his draft here. So I think he deserves that. He deserves an A this time around. So we'll give him an A. And as we finish things up here, I'm going to shift over to more bang for your buck. So, nice team here. More bang for your buck. That team belongs to Nicholas Cologne. And so, for Nick's team, I'm going to give Nick, let's see here. We'll take a look at Nick's team. More bang for your buck. Nick, Justin Jefferson, first round, A+. Leonard Fournette, second round, a little bit high for me. I'm going to give that a B+. Keenan Allen in the third round, I give that an A. Dalton Schultz in the fourth round, I give that an A-. I'll give it an A. Matt Stafford is your quarterback in the fifth round. I'm going to give that a B+. Josh Jacobs in the sixth round, B+. Devin Singletary, seventh round, B-. Alan Lazard in the eighth round, I'm going to give that a B. Rashad Bateman in the ninth round, I'll give that a B. 49ers is your backup quarterback in the 10th round. I'm going to give that a B. Raheem Mostert, Miami, loaded backfield, 11th round pick. I'm going to give that a B. Elijah Moore, 12th round for the Jets. Because of the quarterback situation, I'm going to give that a B. Deontay Foreman, Carolina, 13th round. Could be the backup to Christian McCaffrey. They obviously brought him there for a reason. With Chuba, because of Christian McCaffrey's injuries and whatnot, and maybe not trusting Chuba all the way. So I'm going to say that's a B right now. Could be a B+. Let's, yeah. I think it's a good. Irv Smith, a Minnesota tight end, pardon me. Irv Smith as your backup tight end. I'm going to give that a B. I'm going to give that a B. Bills defense in the 15th round. I give it a B+, because of when you picked them. Darrell Williams, Arizona, backup to James Conner, 16th round. I give that a B. Daniel Carlson, Vegas kicker. I give that an A. 17th round. Jalen Tolbert, Dallas, could pass Michael Gallup. So I'm going to give that a B. So overall for Nick, as you can hear me say over and over and over again, I'm going to give him an overall of a B. As I said, B a lot in that. So definitely use B a lot in that assessment. Next one up that we have here is Win It for Nate. And Zach changed the name last year when a good friend of his and Nicholas Cologne, and somebody who's been in my leagues pretty much the entire time since I come back to Central New York, Nathan Tamalade, and we miss you, Nate. God bless you in heaven. We know you're okay. We know you're safe and sound now, and we truly love you and miss you. To all the loved ones of Nate, and to Zach and to Nick, and a Win It for Nate. So I love the name of that. That gets an A+++ times infinity. The name does. Derrick Henry, I like this. He picked a few picks in, so I'll give that an A. DeAndre Swift in the second round, I'll give it an A-. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, third round, I'll give it an A-. Mike Evans, I give it an A in the fourth round. Zeke Elliott in the fifth round. He typically takes Zeke. I'm going to give that, because of Zeke's situation, give it a B+. DK Metcalf in the sixth round. Doesn't have Russell anymore. I'm going to give it a B+. Jerry Jeudy, seventh round, give that an A. A-. Allen Robinson in the sixth round, I give that an A-. Antonio Gibson in the ninth round, I give it a B+. Christian Kirk in the 10th round, B+. Nyheim Hines in the 11th round, B+. Raiders quarterback as your backup. 12th round pick, I'm going to give that an A-. And then I have Kadarius Toney. He is a Giants fan. He did pick one Giant. He is not a homer in fantasy, which is very smart of him. So I'm going to give that a B. Alexander Madison, I'll give that a B. Noah Fant, Seattle tight end, I'm going to give that a C+ because of the situation. Robert Tonyan as another tight end because of the situation, I'll give it a C+. Steelers defense, I'll give that an A-. And Young Hoku, love the name, in Atlanta. Kicker, I'm going to give that an A. So I'm going to say for Zach Warner, his draft grade, Zach, I'm going to give you an A-. Could be an A. So, you know what? I'm going to leave it at an A. I'm going to give you an A. I got to trust my gut on these things. So, Zach, you're going to get an A. Next one up here, we have Dylan 'em Softly. See, I told you I love the names here. So, Dylan 'em Softly is Greg Eckert's team. Greg, I know you're listening very intently right now at your place of business. Austin Eckler, first round, not the first overall pick. I'll give that an A+. Mark Andrews, second round, give that an A+. Justin Herbert, Chargers, in the third round, I'm going to give that an A. Nick Chubb in the fourth round, I'll give that an A. Give it an A+. James Conner in the fifth round, I'm going to give that an A+ because of the timing there. Mike Williams in the sixth round, I'm going to give that an A. Brandon Cooks in the seventh round. I don't like the quarterback situation, so I'm going to give that a B+. A.J. Dillon, I'm going to give that an A-. I think he'll get some more time. Now, I've been talking him up. Hopefully, he'll get it. That was an 8th round pick. Darnell Mooney in the 9th round. I wanted him out of Tulane, covered Tulane. He's the number one guy in Chicago. I'm going to give that an A-, especially at the time. Kareem Hunt, 10th round, A-. Chris Olave, 11th round, B+. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 12th round, B. Michael Gallup, depends on what he does, B. Tyler Algier, little bit early, but I do like the Atlanta rookie running back. I'm going to say B at the time. Nico Collins out of Houston, B-. Michael Carter, 16th round, B+. Matt Gay is your kicker out of the Rams. I'm going to say that is an A. And the Browns defense, I'm going to say is A-. So, Greg, I think it's very hard to get an A+ in my drafts, and I'm going to grade you out as an A. So, I thought you had a really nice draft, and I'm going to give you an A. Next one that we have coming up here. So we are going to go with, let's see here. This is our first, Myron. 3 years in a row, he's had the number one overall pick in our Wake Up Call Central New York League that drafts the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York, like many of your leagues draft at. So thank you for going there. Bing Bass to Mouth. So dirty over here, Myron. 3 years, 3 number one picks. Myron, you get it, girl. I understand you. I feel you, dog. So I got to throw it up to Myron. Jonathan Taylor, like it, A+. Deebo Samuel, A+. Aaron Jones, the third round, A-. David Montgomery in the fourth round, I'm going to say A-. Michael Pittman Jr., fifth round, I'm going to say, because of the quarterback situation, let's say A-. Marquise Hollywood Brown in the sixth round, I'm going to say A-. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7th round, B. Chase Edmonds, Miami, I'm going to say B. Broncos is your first quarterback taken in the 9th round. I like that. I'm going to say A-. Dallas Goedert is your first tight end. I'm going to say B+. Rashad Penny, 11th round. I'm going to say B. Kenneth Gainwell, B-. Treylon Burks, Tennessee. A lot of drafts didn't even pick him. 13th round. I'm going to say he could take over in Tennessee. I'm going to say B+. DJ Shark, Detroit, B- for now. Garrett Wilson, 15th round. I like that. B+. Vikings as your backup quarterback. Kirk Cousins in the 16th round. I'm going to say A-. And I'm going to say Tyler Bass, Buffalo kicker, A+. Well, A. Forgetting when you got him. Titans defensive special teams. I'm going to say A. The last 2 picks that you had there. So, Myron, you did a nice job here. And so, yeah, Bass to mouth. You dirty, dirty man, but I'm happy you're in our league. So I'm going to give Myron credit where credit is due. So Myron Kittle, I'm going to grade you out here. Myron's going to get an A from me as well. I liked Myron's draft here. And like I said, it's hard to get an A+. He got close, though. Myron got close to getting an A+. I will say that. We got our last few here. So let's go to Team Thurlow. Jeremy Thurlow in the draft for the first time ever. Thanks to Myron and Greg for bringing him to us here. Joe Mixon in the first round, not the first overall pick. I think he could be a second round. I'm going to say A-. Stephon Diggs in the second round. I'm going to say A. T. Higgins in the third round. A-. Pat Mahomes in the fourth round. I'm going to say A+. Zach Ertz, too early to get that tight end in the fifth round. I'm going to say B+. Gabe Davis, too early on that, even though I like Gabe. I'm going to say B+. Cam Akers, 7th round, still a question mark with Darrell Henderson. I'm going to say B+. Juju Smith-Schuster, B+. Dawson Knox in the 9th round. I do like that. Backup tight end could be your starter. I draft him above Zach Ertz. I'm going to say A- in the 9th round. Chase Claypool, 10th round. I'm going to say A-. Tyler Higbee, a third tight end, unnecessary. So I'm going to say B. Tyler Boyd, 12th round, but he is the third guy in Cincinnati. I'm going to say C. J.D. McKissick, I'm going to say C+. Isaiah McKenzie, Buffalo, 14th round. I'm going to say C+. Evan McPherson, kicker, a little bit earlier in the 15th round. I'm going to say, so I'll say B on that. Saints defense, I'm going to say B. Marlon Mack's a free agent now. I'm going to say D on that because of the situation. Dontrell Hilliard, Tennessee, could be taken over, but he's got Derrick Henry in front of him right now in the 18th round. So I'm going to say, for now, I'm going to say B-. So, Jeremy Thurlow, I am going to give you an overall draft grade of a B with your first time with us. So, a shout out to you, Jeremy. And then we're going to move on to, got to run these quick here. And so, who do we got up next? Run, Chase, Run. So, Jamar Chase on this team. Run, Chase, Run is Macaulay Brown's team. So, all right, Macaulay. Najee Harris in the first round. I give that an A+. Wasn't the first overall. Jamar Chase in the second round, A+. It's Tyreek Hill in the third round, A. Kyler Murray in the fourth round, I'm going to say A. TJ Hawkinson, fifth round, A-. J.K. Dobbins, sixth round, I'm going to say B+. Hunter Henry, first tight end that you got, I'm going to say B in that situation. Michael Thomas in the 8th round, I'm going to say B-. James Cook in the 9th round, I'm going to say B. Drake London, another rookie, 10th round, I'm going to say B because of the time. Kenneth Walker, 3 rookies in a row. I'm going to say 11th round for Kenneth Walker. I'm going to say B+. Darrell Henderson, Rams, 12th round, I'm going to say B+ situation. Matt Rams, your Matt Ryan, your backup quarterback, pardon me. Colts, I'm going to say in the 12th round. 13th round. I'm going to say that's an A-. Josh Palmer, Chargers, 14th round, B. Austin Hooper, Tennessee, B. 15th round. Ravens defense, 16th round, A. Brandon McManus, Denver kicker, 17th round, A. Marvin Jones Jr., low-key B+ in the 18th round. So I'm going to give Macaulay Brown here. I'm going to give you a draft grade of an A-. I don't hate it. So I'm going to give him an an A- on this. Macaulay, that's what you're going to get from me in this situation and scenario. So I'm going to give Macaulay an A-, and we'll do that. And then we have 2 more to go here, so we'll run through these quick. We have, let's see who we have here. West Side Footballers. So our West Side Footballers team, we're going to go with this being Michael Newman's team. First time drafting with us. Shout out to Michael Newman. So big ups to Noomy Nooms here. And we're going to give Newman on this one. We're going to start things off. Delvin Cook, I like it. I'm going to say A in the first round. Travis Kelce, I'm going to say A. Saquon Barkley, B+ at the time. Travis Etienne, B at the time of the pickup here. So we're gonna go B on that. AJ Brown 5th round. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna say that's an A-. Cortland Sutton 6th round. I'm gonna say it's an B+. Eagles quarterback as your first quarterback. I'm gonna say, well, that's a 7th round pick. I'm gonna say that's an A-. Damian Pierce 8th round. I'm gonna say that's a B+. Devontae Smith 9th round. I'm gonna say that's an A-. Cole Kmet, tight end, 10th round, already had one. I'm going to say that's a B. Robert Woods, Tennessee, B-. Khalil Herbert, Chicago, we'll see if he gets time. I'm going to say that's a B. Ramondre Stevenson, 13th round, running back out of New England with Damian Harris. I'm going to say that's a B. George Pickens, Pitt, 14th round. I'm going to say that's a B+. Josh Pacheco, out of Kansas City, running back. I'm going to say that's a C+ at the time. KJ Hamler, Denver, I'm going to say it's a C+. Colts defense, I'm going to say is a B. And Rodrigo Blankenship, who is the Colts kicker. So your defense, your kicker are going to be off the same week. I'm going to say because of that, I'll give it a B+. So for Michael Newman, your grade for me is going to be a B- in this draft. And my final team that I have here that we're going to go to is Team Lynch. And I drafted for James, so I will not be giving a grade of that. I tried to draft fairly for him, but because I picked it, I can't give it. So that's how we're going to round things out here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you to all of my wonderful businesses we get to work with. Make sure you're here with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Facebook.com, YouTube.com, and MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.com. And of course, once the shows go live, check us out in our archives on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, Player FM, Podbean, TuneIn, Podvine, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Big shout out to all of our Central and Upstate New York partners, Cafe Cabal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Witty Wicks, PB&J's Lunchbox, Avicoli's, as well as Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Honda City of Liverpool, Pizza Man, Chick-fil-A Cicerone, Chick-fil-A Clay, Mother's Cupboard, and Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is proud to be the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Marywood University Pacers, Lemoyne College Dolphins, as well as your Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. Make sure you stay close to all of our exclusive information. For the Pacers, go to Marywood's tab on WakeUpCallDT.com, Lemoyne's tab on WakeUpCallDT.com, and the BSC-SYR tab on WakeUpCallDT.com. You can get all of our content with all of our schools on our YouTube channel by subscribing to YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Newman respects his draft grade. Greg said, thank you, DT, and good luck to you all on this upcoming NFL fantasy season. And just so you all know, the new trophies of the last 2 seasons are in, and your boy has got some more hardware to add to the studio here with my 3 babies that are joining me here in the Wake Up Call Cafe Kubal studio. So it feels so good to have all of them here at home with me. Shout out to the Pen and Trophy Center, who makes the best and is right here in East Syracuse by Canine Camp, Dog Daycare, and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. And so right off of Bridge Street there too. So make sure you check them out in East Syracuse. Get your trophies made there. And I'm very proud. And Johnny, you can be happy. I named my team Home for the Galladays because I had Kenny Galladay when he was part of Detroit when we won. And I'm very happy that we won a championship. So big shout out to that. And thank you. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all soon. Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. As always, God bless, no stress, do your best. We'll talk tomorrow morning, God willing. And I look forward to hanging out with you all very soon. Thank you and welcome and shout out to the newest member of our Wake Up Call family and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media family, Chick-fil-A Watertown, opening very soon here, hopefully in October.